Today, we're diving into a real revolution, something that's changing the world as we speak. We're talking about how artificial intelligence is completely rewriting the playbook for creating new medicines, one of the most important and difficult things we do. To really get why this is such a big deal, let's start with a number: more than 10 years. On average, that's how long it takes for a single new drug to go from a scientist's initial idea to the shelf at your pharmacy. A whole decade. And the price tag for that decade of work? It's just mind-blowing. We are talking billions of dollars for one successful drug. You can imagine the risks involved are just astronomical. So what's the deal? Why the insane timeline and cost? Well, for decades, the whole process has been built on painstaking, slow trial and error. I mean, scientists would have to test thousands, sometimes millions, of different compounds, really just hoping one of them would stick. It was a process that relied a lot on educated guesses and, let's be honest, a good bit of luck. But that's all starting to change. We're in the middle of a massive shift in thinking, a move away from those educated guesses and towards the kind of certainty you can only get from data. And the engine driving all of this, you guessed it, artificial intelligence. I mean, the contrast is just night and day. We're going from that slow, intuition-based method with its incredibly high failure rate to something totally different. A new approach that's fast, driven by hard data, and focused on precision. Okay, so what do we even mean by AI in this context? It's not some single magic bullet. Think of it more like a powerful toolkit. You've got machine learning, which can sift through enormous biological data sets and spot patterns no human could ever hope to see. And then you have things like natural language processing, which can read like all of the scientific papers ever published on a topic and connect the dots between them. It's incredible. And what this technology is doing is fundamentally changing where the work gets done. A huge chunk of that early stage discovery, the stuff that used to need a physical lab with test tubes and petri dishes, a lot of that is now happening right on a laptop. This new AI-powered playbook really boils down to 3 key steps. First, you use AI to pinpoint the exact biological thing you need to attack to fight a disease. Then you use it to design the perfect molecule, the key, to fit that biological lock. And finally, AI helps you predict what's going to happen when you use it, way before you ever start human trials. So let's break down step 1, pinpointing the target. You can't fight an enemy if you don't know who it is, right? AI algorithms comb through these mountains of data about our genes and our proteins to find the specific culprits at the root of an illness. They scan all that scientific literature in seconds, connecting all the dots and zeroing in on the most promising targets for a new drug. Okay, so once you have your target locked, AI basically becomes a molecular architect. And this is where it gets really wild. We're talking about generative AI that can literally design brand new drug molecules from scratch, molecules that are tailor-made to hit that disease target. It runs thousands of digital simulations to see which ones fit best, completely replacing that old, slow process of mixing chemicals in a lab. And AI's job isn't done after the drug is designed. It's also making the human clinical trials faster and, importantly, safer. It can help find the perfect patients for a study based on their unique biology. It can predict how they'll respond, and it can even monitor for safety issues as the trial is happening. It's a total game changer. Now, you might be thinking this all sounds like something from a movie, maybe 20 years in the future. But this is not science fiction. This is happening right now, today, inside the world's biggest pharma companies. I mean, just look at who's playing. You've got Pfizer using IBM Watson to speed up cancer research. You have AstraZeneca working with a company called Benevolent AI to go after really tough diseases. And then there's in silico medicine, which is using its own AI to design drugs in weeks, not years. This isn't some side project anymore. It's a core competitive advantage. But of course, it's not all perfectly smooth sailing. With any technology this powerful, there are always going to be some big challenges to figure out. And this revolution definitely has its hurdles. There are really 3 big ones. First, data quality. It's the old saying, garbage in, garbage out. And AI is only as good as the data you feed it. Second is what people call the black box problem. Some of these AI models are so complex, we don't always know why they made a certain decision. That makes it really tough for regulators to approve them. And finally, you have huge ethical questions about patient data, privacy, and consent. These are not small issues, and we have to get them right. But here's the thing. If we can navigate those challenges, and we will, the promise here is just, well, it's immense. We are genuinely looking at a future where we can create safer, more effective drugs faster and cheaper than we ever thought possible. And that really brings us to the most crucial takeaway of all. AI is not here to replace our brilliant scientists and doctors. Not at all. It's here to empower them, to give them the tool, maybe the most powerful tool they've ever had, to turn seas of complex data into life-saving breakthroughs. This transformation is really just getting started. And it leaves all of us with this one incredibly exciting and deeply hopeful question to think about. With this amazing new toolkit now in our hands, what disease will AI help us cure next? Today, we're diving into a real revolution,